Hello, today we'll be checking the family members' vocabulary. It's very easy to work with and we will use the verb to be again. So let's start. Okay, so this image that we have here is a family tree. With the family tree, we start with the oldest generations and we continue with the younger ones. So we have the first generation, Mary and Dan. They are Susan's parents. They are the second generation. And then Peter and Susan are Beth's and James' parents. They are the third generation. Then we have the fourth generation. In the fourth generation, well, we would have our example Adam, which is commonly known as me. In Spanish, yo. Okay, so we have different vocabulary and it depends on the relationship that the others have with you. La relación o el vocabulario dependerá de la relación que otros tienen contigo. En este caso, el ejemplo va a ser Adam. Okay, so my sister is Jane and my brother is Ross. My mother would be Beth and my father would be Robert. My grandparents, in this case my grandfather is Peter, my grandmother is Susan. My great-grandma or my great-grandmother is Mary. My great-grandpa or grandfather is Dan. Then I have my Aunt Nora, my Uncle James, and my cousins Sarah and Ron. In English, we don't mark a difference between the female and the male sex. They are both equally named cousin. She is my mother, Beth. He is my cousin, Ron. As you can see, we are using the verb to be again, and we have the structure in the affirmative form: subject, verb to be, complement. Subject, verb to be, complement. Then we have some other vocabulary. If we name both mom and dad, they are called parents. Both grandpa and grandma would be grandparents. Both my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather would be my great-grandparents. You can't say fathers like a translation of papás. No, that doesn't exist. It's parents. And in the other way around, it would be children. There aren't any, in this case, sons. No, it all has to be named children. We also have some other vocabulary. In this case, James is Nora's husband. Nora is James' wife. And Sarah and Ron are siblings. They are my parents, Robert and Beth. Sarah and Ron are siblings. And in our last photo, we have the in-laws. In this case, la familia política, the father-in-law, the mother-in-law. We would have the son-in-law, which would be James. James is Susan's and Peter's son-in-law. And then we have Beth. She would be the daughter. No, in this case, Nora would be the daughter-in-law. I got confused. Nora would be the daughter-in-law of Susan and Peter, and Robert would be the son-in-law of Peter and Susan. In this case, Jane would be Nora's niece, Ross would be Nora's nephew. And if we do it the other way around, Nora would be Jane's aunt, and James would be Jane's uncle. It's very easy to work this vocabulary. You do need to memorize it, but I don't think it will cause you any problem. And we will continue working this vocabulary in our next class.